Well, hello. It's been quite a while since we last saw each other for a video. It's October 1st. Fall is coming. Fall weather is coming back. Leaves are changing color. Just whenever the fall season comes back around, I always get a rejuvenated sense of wanting to get out and shoot photos and make videos about it. So here we are for another video. I'm out here in Bodega Bay. I've got the trusty EM1X with me, hoping to find some compositions and some things to shoot, but that's not what I wanted to make a video about today. Today I wanted to make a video about the camera that you usually don't see. Whenever I have to make a video about photography, I have to have my main camera in the shot with me, which means I need to film with another camera. If you watched my Disneyland videos, you know that I've been shooting with an Insta360 X3, but now there's a new Insta360 camera out, the Insta360 X3. That's what I'm filming on now, and that's what I want to make today's video about. I want to talk about this camera specifically, and I want to talk about what led me to choose the Insta360 family of cameras as my go-to B cams, and just all around little piece of awesomeness that I can tote around with me all the time. On my way to settling on this type of camera as what I'm going to use, First I shot with my phone because that's the easiest thing in the world. You've already got a phone with you. A lot of phones you can plug in a microphone. On newer phones, they started taking the headphone jack off of the phones, so now you need a little more dongles, a little more creativity to get clean external audio into your phone. But the phone had that forward-facing screen. It was compact, it was lightweight. It was something I already had with me, but it wasn't very rugged. So I then went to a GoPro, which GoPro is as rugged as you can get, and you can put external audio into it with an adapter. But I didn't have that forward-facing screen because I had a Hero 7. It doesn't have a forward-facing screen. And then I got the original Insta360 X because I wanted 360 video. And then I found myself in the situation of having to choose which of these compact cameras to bring with me. And there were times on shoots I'd bring all three of those cameras, plus my main camera that I was actually doing landscape photography with. So when the Insta360 X2 came out, it added a few features I was really excited about. It gave me the option to have a forward-facing screen, so now I could keep myself in frame. Kind of. The screen was only that big. It had the ability to allow me to plug in an external microphone and have my own audio coming in from a wireless microphone, which was really nice. I now had clean audio. The camera itself was ruggedized and weatherproof and waterproof, so I didn't have to worry about drowning it when I went out in the rain or the fog or the mist. And it added the ability to shoot not only 360 video, but also kind of a 150-degree POV action cam style video, just like a GoPro. So I didn't have to reframe every single shot from the 360 footage if I just wanted to pull out the camera and talk to the camera like I am with you right now. So I think the 360 X2 was a fantastic camera and I loved it until it had an accident. I had set up the camera on a selfie stick monopod kind of situation just to film a little piece of B-roll while I was putting my backpack back in the car. I was literally filming the second to last frames of the video, and a gust of wind came along because, again, I was shooting at the coast, and the camera just tipped over, fell on the ground in the parking lot, and one of the lenses just smashed on the concrete. Didn't break the camera, but it just irreparably scratched the lens. But I was far enough through that camera's life cycle, I didn't want to replace it because I knew that an Insta360 X3 was gonna come out within probably a year. So I continued to shoot with that camera. I tried to frame my shots so that you didn't have to look through the scratched lens, but you can see in some of my 360 shots, I couldn't avoid it, especially underwater. But I continued to use that camera until the X3 came out. So when the X3 came out, I bought it the day it was released, and now it's in my hands, and now I'm reviewing it. This is actually my first day out shooting with it, and so far, I love it. It does everything the 360 X2 did, and a few other things, which I'm gonna talk about now. Almost everything is the same. The camera's a little bigger, it's a little heavier, it's got a few more buttons. The main difference is it has a bigger screen on the front. I mean, check this thing out. The screen is huge. It's the size of the screen on the back of a GoPro. So I can actually really see what I'm doing. I can really easily frame what's going on. So I love that feature. I think the audio is even better now. It's similar to the Insta360 One RS, where now I have some internal in-camera control over the audio input gain, so I can really fine-tune my audio levels. It also has a little bit of haptic feedback. You press a button and the camera vibrates a little bit, which tells you that you've pressed a button. I think that's really cool. So you have just a little bit better feedback, a little bit better feel, and you just know what the camera's doing. You don't have to look down and check to see if it's recording. You kind of know. So everything they've added makes it easier to use, more intuitive, more user-friendly. That really pleases me. It makes it even better as a standalone do-it-all B cam. And now I really don't have to ever consider choosing anything else. I know this is the only camera that I need. I think somebody else said it's like having a film crew in your pocket. It really, really is. The rest of the things they changed on the Insta360 X3 are pretty minor. It does have a slightly larger sensor than the X2. It has a 1/2 inch sensor, so it's a little bit bigger than the old one, which means it should be better in low light. I can't wait to test that. The batteries and the battery charger are not compatible with the X2, so you have to buy new batteries, a new battery charger. You have to buy a new audio adapter, so that's a minor annoyance, but that's just kind of the game with action cameras. You'll have some compatibility, you'll have some non-compatibility. What are the downsides of using a 360 camera as a backup? Let's see. The lenses are vulnerable. I think I proved that when I smashed my X2. These lenses are bulbous. They really, really stick out. So it's very important that you always carry, a really good lens cover. I like the little rubber one, but also the camera comes with a full-size neoprene slip cover that also covers the screen. That's another thing that I need to be careful of with this camera, is when I can't just set it down willy-nilly like the old one. Once I cover the lenses, the screen is still exposed if I use the rubber head cover. So I got to make sure I don't scratch this big, beautiful, glossy touchscreen. I think the last thing I'll cover is the image stabilization. I think the image stabilization gets better with every generation of these cameras, and I think 360 cameras are the best in the action camera genre at digital image stabilization, because you just have more frame to work with. The digital image stabilization has more frame to stabilize. Even right now, just walking along with this camera in POV mode, in 150-degree mode, I'm not using 360. The stabilization looks incredible. The downside to that is there's a lot of lag between what I'm doing and what I see myself doing on the screen. There's about a full second of lag, which isn't really that big of a deal. And I think the awesome image stabilization is worth it. I think it's a worthy trade-off. So that makes it great for this type of stuff where I'm just walking around talking to the camera, walking on uneven terrain, just holding this one-handed on a selfie stick. But in general, the image stabilization is absolutely incredible, and it makes this camera really, really well suited to this type of work. So I think I want to end with, where can Insta go from here? What would I like to see in 2 years when they come out with an Insta360 X4? I would love to see some kind of better way of integrating external audio. Like right now, I've got to have an audio adapter that plugs into the USB port, and then my Rode Wireless plugs into that so I can transmit from my transmitter. I would love to see them do away with the need for an adapter and just put a 3.5mm input audio jack so you can plug a microphone directly in. Or I'd love to see Insta either partner with DJI and Rode and integrate the receiver into the camera, or Insta, I'd love to see you make your own wireless microphone and then the receiver is built into the camera itself, just to make it that much easier and more compact. Because when I have this camera, I'll show you a shot of what it looks like with the camera and the receiver bracket and the USB adapter. it's not exactly compact. It's thin, but it's not exactly pocketable. So I think is the biggest room for improvement, is just make it even easier for us to just pull the camera out of the pocket, press a button, and start recording with clean external audio. I think if we do that and we continue to improve the low light, high ISO noise performance, they're going to continue to have just like a class-leading piece of hardware on their hands. And I, again, will be first in line to buy it when it comes out. Well, that's the end of this video. I'm going to end it there. I could keep talking, but I choose not to. I'm going to make more videos about the X3. Thanks for joining me. I will see you again soon. Thank you all very much. Stay safe, have fun.